Segment 3, Gold and Black live with, and this is our honored guest of the year, Coach Gene Keady joins us. He is in West Lafayette getting ready for Purdue, Indiana tomorrow. I'm sure getting a chance to see a lot of old friends, but Coach, welcome to the show. Thanks for dealing with about a half hour of technical difficulties, but we got you on here and we're glad to have you here.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be back home.
You know, you get a chance, and you brought the warm weather. You've been in Myrtle Beach, and it's going to be 70 degrees tomorrow in West Lafayette. So we're going to give you credit for that. How's your golf game been?
Oh, frustrating. Yeah, I'm not very good, but I have fun and I have good partners. So it's good in a way or bad in a way. Golf is like you can either be good or bad, but I'm usually both.
You know, it's funny because it is a game that you never reach perfection.
Never master it.
Yeah, you never do totally. All right, you've watched the Boilermakers. This is a really good basketball team, and you've been around 6 Big Ten championships in your days. This team has lost some heartbreaking games, but when you've watched Purdue play this year, what's been your thoughts?
Well, first of all, Matt Painter is a tremendous coach, and I enjoy watching his teams play because they play the right way. But sometimes when you're not in control of everything, you're frustrated by some of the players' performances, and that's just part of the game. So you got to learn to live with that. But it has 2 really good big guys, have a great 3-point shooter, and a little guard that can really get to where he wants to get. So they have a lot of good pieces. It's just a matter of putting it together.
Yeah. You know, you look at this team, and when Indiana comes to West Lafayette, it's always a big event. The greatest moments in the history of that building where you and Bob Knight went head to head for some classic battles. Tomorrow will be a special day because Indiana's coming to town. It's senior day. Indiana has a lot to play for. Purdue has a lot to play for. But tell me about that memory of playing Indiana and what that meant in your career, just playing the Hoosiers and playing Bob Knight in that great venue.
Well, he was such a tremendous coach. It was an honor to be able to play against him. And then if you beat him, you really felt kind of special, which is probably false, but it was a special time if you could beat him. But we go see Bob in his farm. My wife and I do, and visit with him when we're in the area. So it's always fun to talk to him.
You beat him more than he beat you. Do you ever remind him of that, or do you?
I didn't even know it. I didn't even know. I was trying to win the next game, whoever we played next.
I think he won 21 out of 41 games against him. So you beat him 21-20. But who's counting at this? You know, I agree. It's been fun to see that friendship between the two of you evolve, and obviously. That's been a special part of your retirement years, is all the coaches, including Bob Knight, that made a great relationship with you over the years.
Yeah, when I watch Indiana play, I think, where's Bobby? How come he's not coaching? So it's always a pleasure to go visit he and his wife at their farm and around outside of Bloomington. So we've had a lot of good times together, a lot of battles.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Another coaching colleague of yours, Mike Krzyzewski at Duke, finishing his career. You have the distinction. Your team ended his first season at Duke in 1981 in the NIT. You beat Mike and knocked him out of the tournament. Your memories and thoughts of Mike Krzyzewski as a coach and what he's meant to college basketball. And I know you've known him well over the years, but a great era is coming to an end.
Good friend, a class act, tremendous coach. So he's one of those guys that I'm very fortunate to know.
Yeah. Your relationships over the years and some of the classic battles, Judd Heathcote. I loved it when he would come to those old luncheons and tell jokes like that. And now Tom Izzo at Michigan State. But Judd Heathcote was a special guy to you, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He was always had a great sense of humor. Was a tremendous coach and always made fun of himself. But it was just a matter of a privilege for me to be his friend.
Yeah, he could have been a stand-up comedian, don't you think? I mean, he was great.
If I had said I was his friend, he would say, "Who told you that?" or something like that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those are some of my favorite press conferences of all time, where when he would come in and maybe it was a game that Purdue had beaten him bad, and he'd still find a sense of humor or some way to
Yeah.
be self-deprecating that made him special. So
Yeah, like Coach Knight and like Krzyzewski, he's a special person in my life, so I've always enjoyed his friendship.
Your coaching tree is important. Bruce Weber, have you had a chance to connect with him at Kansas State this year? You've always stayed in touch with him.
I talked to Bruce quite a bit. I always have been an admirer of Bruce's because he has 3 daughters and they keep him, from being in trouble, and his wife. So he's a special friend. He's my assistant 17 years. So naturally, I have a lot of respect and love for him.
But think about how life has a way of coming full circle. I mean, you went to Kansas State, you graduated from Kansas State in 1958. Tex Winter was a big part of your life and your coaching life, but then Bruce ends up coaching there. I mean, and you're his mentor. That has to be pretty special that he ends up back at K-State and having a good career there.
Well, I was kind of instrumental in him getting that job, so
I'm sure you were
somebody there that I could trust and knew he'd do a great job coaching. So another guy in my life is very special.
What part of the mentality of the Purdue basketball program is still so built on the foundation that you laid: toughness, play defense, pass the ball, share the ball. But Matt's teams now, that a lot of great offense. I mean, he's got guys that can score like crazy. And now there's, the challenge is to be good enough defensively from that standpoint. That game of basketball has changed a little bit, but that toughness quotient, if you can inject some of that into this group, it'll help them, I think, down the road.
I hope so, because he's very deserving. And when I first started coaching back when I was 21 or whenever it was, I was always a fast break coach, wanted to score 100 points and that sort of thing. And then I went to work for Eddie Sutton at Arkansas as his assistant, and I found out that defense was the key to winning big games. So Eddie Sutton was my mentor as far as teaching me about defense.
Now, when you talk to Matt, when you see him this weekend, and obviously he's going to be busy coaching a basketball team, but what do you guys talk about? Do you talk a lot of basketball? Do you talk family stuff? What's your conversation with him when you get a chance to see him?
He has 2 boy dogs, and my girl dog are from the same litter. So we talk about dogs a lot. We talk about how his team's doing and that sort of thing. So I have Abby Road as my female dog, and she's a special person or animal in my life, and his 2 boys are very special too to us. So we're going to take Abby out and see her brothers hopefully at his house and in the next few hours. So I hope we get to do that at least.
Yeah, you got a good day for it here. No question about that. And yet, he now, as one of your proteges, Matt, has learned to be on the bench and kind of unassuming. He doesn't throw his jacket. He doesn't yell at the refs too much. You did more of that. Did you have a talking to him, or is that just the way the coaches do things now?
He just has more class than I do. So he does a great job in all facets of acting right and coaching right and that sort of thing. So I'm very proud of Matt Painter.
Yeah, you should be. And I think that's got to be very comforting to you as you come back. But I always ask you the same question. What is it like to be a rock star? You are a rock star. When you come in to Mackey Arena, the place is going to go nuts tomorrow when they see you there. There's when on the video, when you talk about the Big Ten championships, they love you. What's it like to be loved like that?
Well, I kind of, I guess, amazing, because I never ever thought that could happen. I was so lucky to have the job at Purdue that anytime I get some credits like that, I'm very appreciative.
Yeah, and it will happen tomorrow. It'll be an emotional time because the fan base, the students, I think that's the great thing, is even the students that most of them were about born the time that you finished coaching at Purdue. I think that's the best thing, is it's Gene Keady Court. it will forever be that. And when your name comes up, they hoot and holler, and that's a big part of things. So I
That's
hope you
very
have a
appreciated.
great week here. Now, and you're going to stay through the Big Ten tournament. Is that the plan? Are you?
We hope to. Yes,
Yeah.
if my boss lets me, we will.
All right. Well, Kathleen does a great job managing you. So does Jill Spencer and company. You have a lot of good help, Coach, and that part is a good thing for you, to say the least. But we'll look forward to seeing you in Mackey tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting game.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing the game, being at the game, and Michael and Jill Spencer are special friends, so I always appreciated their loyalty.
All right. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to come on our show. We will wrap up this show for the day. Couldn't wrap it up in a better way with Coach T and Keady. Want to thank the Triple X and Hilton Garden Inn, State Farm agent Trent Johnson, Gordon Jackson, and the good folks at WLFI. We're grateful for all you do for us. We will keep you posted in our next show due to the tournament. We may be off for a week or two, but hopefully longer than that as the Boilermakers make a run deep into March, we all hope. So, all right, Coach, thanks again. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Mackey tomorrow.
Thank you, Alan. You've always been a special friend. Your mother and father were special friends, and I've always remembered them as being part of my life.
They loved you. So thanks again so much.
Thank you.